story that you have read, what do you think is our topic today? Yes, Nikki. Story. Very good. What else? Oh, part of the story. Very good, my dear student. So now, we are going to discuss about the elements of short story. But first, let us now define what is a short story. So what is a short story? Yes? Very good. So it is written in a narrative form, and short story is usually deals with only few characters, and it is typically prose and a shorter than a novel. So take note that a short story is a shorter than a novel. So who can give me an example of short story? Yes, fairy tales, then fables. What else? Very good. So anecdotes. So I have here a short story entitled The Ant and the Grasshopper. So all you have to do is to identify who, where, and what happened in the story. So I will give you only 5 minutes to read it. So you may start now to read. So time is up. Now we are going to identify who is in the story. Yes? Okay, very good. So the person in the story is the ant and the grasshopper. And that is the first element of short story. The characters. So when we say a characters, it is the person moving in the story. And the question that are commonly used are the who. Very good. So, if the ants and the grasshopper, the character in the story, where did it happen? Yes, Nikki. Very good. So, the story happened in the field, and that is the second element of short story, the setting. So, when we say setting, it is the time and place of action, and the question that are commonly used in the setting is where and when. Since the story happened in the field, so how did it happen? Yes, Jeff. Very good. So, since the rainy days are coming, the ant carrying a heavy load of corn while grasshopper playing all day. And that is the last elements of short story, the plot. So when we say plot, this is the sequence of events. And there is an exposition that introduces the setting and the characters. In the plot, the questions that are commonly used are the what and how. But under the plot, we have number 1, the rising action. So, when we say a rising action, it develops the conflict and it is leading up to the climax. Number 2. So when we say a climax, it is the highest point of interest or the highest point of intent. And the third is the falling action. So when we say the falling action, it is draws the story to close. So based on the story, what is the falling action? Very good. So the falling action in the story is when the winter came, the grasshopper suffered from hunger while the ants were eating every day from the corn he had stored. And the last one is the resolution. So when we say a resolution, it is ties up the loose ends. So what is the end of the story based on the ant and the grasshopper? The end of the story is the grasshopper realized that the best thing to do is to prepare for the days ahead. So that is the end of the story. So did you understand what are those elements of short story? Very good. So those are the characters, setting, and the plot. But under the plot, we have rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. So these are the essential to keep the story running smoothly and allow the action to develop in a logical way. Now, I will group you into 3, and each group will be given a story entitled Fishing in the Lake. So the group 1 will identify and describe the character in the story. The group 2 will identify and describe the setting in the story. And the group 3 will identify and describe the plot in the story. And here are the rubrics. For 10 points, for those can easily identify and describe the elements of short story. 8 points for those can easily identify but did not describe properly the elements of short story. And 5 points for those effort was made but did not identify and properly describe the elements of short story. So I will just give you 5 minutes to finish it, and you may start now. So time is up. May I call on the group 1 to present their output? Very good. How about the group 2? Awesome. How about the group 3? Excellent. I hope that you have learned a lot about the elements of short story. And thank you for all your participation. Class, good day.